Hey, what's up, good people? I am home, back in the studio, back in the ship, flying the plane. All right, good people. Take a second, hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. Come join the family. All of us, we are here rooting for you. All right, love you guys. Listen, today is brought to you by Moo Moo. Today is Moo Moo Monday, where now you can get up to 30 free stock and 8.1%. Okay, let's get right into it, good people. Look at this. This is what we like to see on a day like today, especially on a Monday. We love to see the S&P up over 50 points, the NASDAQ almost 200 points, and the Dow almost 500 points positive. All right, so now I am recording this around 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So around 7:30 New York time. As we can see, stock market today, S&P surge, Dow jumps over 450 points as stocks rebound, right? All right, so the futures inching higher. Let's see what the futures are looking at this point. Sorry about that, good people. So at this point, the futures, as you can see, up, but not by much. I would still call this flat. It's too early to tell, but as you can see, that's not much, right? So it's not enough for us to go, Tuesday's going to be a green day. It's too early for that, okay? So just to mention a few winners today, here we have one, and that is Palantir. Congratulations to all of those that's just been buying and holding Palantir, as I am a bull on Palantir long term. Remember when I played the video yesterday of the woman that put $10,000 into NVIDIA and turned it into $3 million just by holding? I'm not saying Palantir is going to perform like that, but I do believe that Palantir is one of those stocks that you're going to be glad that you held and bought on the dips. Are there more dips to come? Yes, there are. So let's look into Palantir right quick. So here's good news of Palantir. Palantir soars 14% on software vendors inclusion in the S&P 500. So Palantir will be joining the S&P 500 before opening bell Monday, September 23rd. Okay, Monday, September 23rd. Palantir also did an agreement with the BP, and they did an agreement, a 5-star strategic relationship with new AI capabilities. That is Palantir, and it's going to be joining the S&P 500. So it has been surging, as we could see. Let's go back and let's look at the 5-day. As you can see, over the last 5 days, it's doing good. Over the last month, even with the sell-off, it's just been performing well. Look at that. Let's go year to date. Palantir is up 108%. You know, and as you can see, there were dips and valleys, there were hills and valleys on the climb, but 108% for a low cap stock, you know, is doing really, really good. Now, what's going to happen with a company like Palantir? I expect it to run more when the Fed start lowering interest rates. Why? Access to capital. That's why these small caps run. They perform well, rather, when the Fed starts to lower interest rates. So Palantir, I have always been, just green with Palantir. Now let's talk about the overall stock market. And let's go to the perma bull, Mr. Tom Lee. Now, Mr. Tom Lee, for those of you that don't know it, he is a correspondent on CNBC, has his own company, and he's been right a lot lately. And a lot of people just think it's pure luck. He has access to tools that I don't have, and he's a rather smart guy. Don't know if I totally agree with him on this one. Let's give it a listen.
I don't think there's actually a lot of fundamental arguments for why stocks are down this much, but I think we've pulled forward seasonality. This September to November period last year was really tough. Historically, it's tough, and I wonder if markets are going risk off early.
So you believe in the soft landing story. You said there's no fundamental reason for this. This is a debate over soft landing versus something worse. Market seems to be tilting towards something worse. You say no.
Yeah, the reason I don't think it's something worse, and we don't know, is that the jobs added was better than July. Remember, July was the hard landing fears because it was such a weak number. And in fact, the number of industries adding jobs jumped to 53%. That's the best in 6 months. And the unemployment rate fell. So I think we're at a point where the Fed could engineer a soft landing. And that's why 2 weeks from now it's going to be important.
50.
That's a big if, good people. That's a big if he engineers it. Now, he's going to go, you know what, I'll play more of it and talk about the difference in cutting interest rates by 25 basis points versus 50 basis points. But listen real closely.
25, does it matter to you?
I think it's going to be how the market interprets either number, because, there can be such thing as a dovish 50 or a hawkish 50 or a panicked 50. Even a hawkish 25. So I think the reality is the Fed is on a cutting cycle. That's really a good catalyst for rotation. Interest rates are going to fall, and it's going to help industries like housing, autos, credit cards come out of this recession. So I think it's good news when they start cutting.
Okay. What's happening in tech? We said that the NASDAQ's down more than 5% this week. We're having the worst week in about 18 months, and the tech sector itself is off more than 7 on the week. What's going on with that trade?
Tech, I think, revealed its hand last week because NVIDIA had a good number, but it fell. So when stocks fall on good news, it's either a crowded trade or something bad could be coming. And then, of course, they've led the downside this week. I think it is part of this pull forward the seasonality because people want to de-risk, and tech is a big holding. But I think on the margin there could also be a political aspect to this. Trump's probability of winning actually increased this week in the betting markets and in the polls. And I know investors think he'll be tough on China, which would be bad for semis. So I think part of this could be fears that a Trump gaining is bad for semis.
What if there's just too much priced into these stocks at this point? Valuations have gotten a little too rich, even if they're the greatest stocks in the world, which you...
So that's what I believe that the fear is there too much? We got good earnings from NVIDIA, but it was priced to perfection. And so it actually sold off on good earnings. So this is what I'm really looking at as far as big tech is concerned, just for right now. Let's listen.
Made the argument that, in fact, they are, that this is the place you want to be, maybe more than any other. And what if that's true and the multiples still don't make sense?
I think it's possible. In NVIDIA's last 10 years of history, there have been 30% drawdowns, almost 8 times of similar magnitude. Its PE, NVIDIA's forward PE, was actually higher at the bottom of those drawdowns. Right now, NVIDIA's forward PE is in the mid-20s. So to me, this looks like a normal profit taking. Maybe it takes NVIDIA down to the 90s, but I think 2 years from now, that's really going to be a gift.
So when
you heard that, it could come down to the 90s, and I agree with him. For those of you that are holding NVIDIA, I told you guys what I'm doing with mine. We're going to touch on that, but listen to the final part of this. Just wanted to chop this up and discuss it as we listen.
Here and elsewhere to do that?
We're close to that point because let's say we thought that there would be a 7 to 10%, the risk of a 7 to 10% drawdown between now and November. We're almost down 5% now. I think next week we could be within that point of where we pulled forward that entire correction into the month of September. So I think we're close to the point where, I wouldn't be a seller here, and I think if the lower range of the S&P's 5,400, 5,350, we're almost there now.
You think the move from August...
All right, so good people, he's hitting me with a lot of questions. I have to take back what I said. I agree with a lot that Tom Lee said. So what he was saying is instead of a longer drawdown, we could be getting most of the drawdown now, which is something that I kind of mentioned on yesterday's video, that we could be getting the big drawdown now. Now, what do I believe? I do believe we have more drawdown. I do believe that we're going to have more weeks like we had yesterday. That's what I believe. Okay. How much? I don't know. But all I know is my focus right now is keeping dry powder, keeping some money, not putting all of my money into every single little dip, but waiting for true pullbacks and then going in. Big tech, I'm not loading up as much as I am smaller tech. I keep buying the Palantir and I keep buying other small stock, the Russell 2000. But when it comes to big tech, I think we have a little bit more pullback. Now, remember, I still have some that I bought. And I took a haircut about 3 weeks ago. I took a slight haircut on some NVIDIA simply because I couldn't monitor the market. You guys know what happened with my family. So that was the only reason that I took a haircut, not knowing what was going to happen, but expecting September to be a not so good month. So I expect that there will be a little more blood in the streets. To some, that's a gift. To others, you don't want to see that, right? I get it. All right. So let's keep it moving. We can see here. Here's what I want to point out in closing. So we can see, for those of us that's been in the market and we read the bull market, here's COVID, and we rode that bull market all the way up. And then what happened? In 2022, let me take the Russell out. And let's just deal with the S&P, right? What happened? Without even looking at this, I remember it was October of 2022. Remember, good people, that was the lows that everybody should have bought. That's what a lot of people wish they had bought after the bull run of 2021. This is where everyone wished they'd bought. Even the S&P is up over 50%, as you can see that, right? And so we got the S&P. Let's throw the Dow in there, and let's throw the Russell in there for small caps. You can see pretty much the same thing. You know, it was the time to buy. That's September, and here we go, June, July, August, September, October of 2022. There we are, you know, and we could see that that was the time to essentially buy everything. And it was just a good time to buy. Hindsight is 2020. Okay, we understand that. Now we're looking for another opportunity like that to buy, right? And so I was just looking back on when the Fed lowered interest rates. We know he did back in the 1990s, from the dot-com, 2008 from the recession, and then COVID 2020 when the Fed decreased interest rates because of troubled waters. Then I looked here. As you can see, this is back in 08, okay, from the Great Recession is what I call it. And you could see there was a sell-off. There was a sell-off from September all the way down to October, okay? And then I went here, and this is the SPY, and I went back to the 90s, and you could see the same thing, a sell-off, right? From, we started in August here and went all the way to October, and we had a 16% sell-off, right? And that's when the Fed started to decrease interest rates. Now, that doesn't happen every time. Sometimes he decreases interest rates and the market actually goes up. A lot of people that are way smarter than me expected to go up positively this rate cut. But I said I disagree with Tom Lee. I take that back. I totally agree with Tom Lee. I don't know what I was thinking about or what I was listening to. But if the Fed does an aggressive 50 basis point rate cut, then the market is going to get spooked out like it did last week, and we're going to have some downward pressure. These are not facts. It's what Larry thinks. But Tom Lee does bring a good point. If he does a hawkish or an aggressive 25 basis points, it still could not end in a soft landing. But Tom Lee has a lot of confidence that we could have a soft landing. You guys tell me what you think. If we have a soft landing, The yield curve has uninverted again. You guys tell me what you think could happen, right? Got to talk about Moo Moo Monday, good people. It's Moo Moo Monday, 30 free stocks, 8.1% on your uninvested money. Download today, depending on your deposit amount, okay? Just read the fine print. And then, of course, we got Stock Up You. It is for you. Come and join and learn what I have learned. Learn how to make money in the stock market and in crypto. Not just myself, but my good friends here. And I have more classes that are being added this fall, early fall. All right, good people, let me know if this has helped you. And oh yeah, save the date. Save the date. October 12th, the second Saturday in October, which is a little over a month now. Save the date. I will be giving you guys more information tomorrow. Save the date. I am trying to put together something called Money and Music here in the Chicagoland area. So save the date. Money and Music. So I'm going to have some musicians and I'm going to come and do my thing. And so save the date, good people. This will be the one I want everyone to come to. All right. This will be the one you can jump on planes, trains, and automobiles. And we're just going to take one day and give you everything we got. All right, good people. We'll talk to you tomorrow because I will be doing more travel next week. So instead of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to be more heavy involved this week. Right? Love you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn.